Welcome to Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm the Reverend Tiffany Anderson, the minister of this church, and my pronouns are she and her. I am so happy to be with you all today. Today's service is about honoring the memories of people who have passed away in the last year. If you've brought a photo or other token, please feel free to bring them up to our altar during our opening hymn or during our candles time. If you want to honor someone that you didn't bring anything for, you can write their name on one of these leaves that you'll find in your bulletin. There are pens at the ends of most aisles. If you don't have enough leaves in your bulletin, there are even more over there right by the candles card box. Our opening hymn is on your screen and can also be found in the gray hymnal. Please rise in body or spirit so we can sing together our opening hymn number 101, Abide With Me. Abide with me. That off so you guys didn't have to hear me sing a solo for the opening hymn. Gather we now into this space, this time when the wheel turns and the veil shatters. Gather we now to remember, to grieve, to prophesy, to complete our harvests before the long dark comes. Gather we now to tell the old stories and sing the old songs, to be as we have always been, the voice of our people eternal. Gather we now to celebrate that which was, that which is, and that which will be. Gather we now as we have always done, united by story and bound by love. Please join us in a moment of quiet contemplation as we prepare for our time together.
Good morning. I'm Erin Jenkins, and I'm one of your service leaders today. Thank you for being with us today as we join together in the service of remembrance. This is a time of year that holds many traditional days for acknowledging those who have passed away and for remembering our ancestors whose wisdom we carry with us still. All Souls Day, All Saints Day, Samhain, Dia de los Muertos, and Shambhen are all recognized during this particular time of the year. So it makes sense that in this season, when leaves make their final journey from branch to ground, that we would remember and recognize our dearly departed as well. Our vision statement speaks of community. And today, with the memories of our loved ones sharing the table with our joys and our sorrows waiting to be lit, our community seems a little larger today. Today, we invite Ruby to come help us with our chalice lighting. Ruby is a first grade student at Northside, and for Halloween this year, she dressed as a black cat. As Ruby lights the chalice, please join me in saying our vision statement, which is printed in our bulletin. We work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder.
Part of that sharing love that we talk about in our mission statement is sharing our joys and sorrows. We do this every week, but this week it feels like an especially deep practice with a table full of love present with us. When we have our candle lighting time, if you have any last item or name to add to the altar, you are welcome to do so. If you'd like to share a joy or a concern in person, please use these candle cards located on the back table. And if you'd like to share a joy or a concern from a distance, please email me at minister@hvuuc.org. Alesha is very happy to announce, you didn't know you were going to be standing up here when I did this. Alesha is very happy to announce that a judge granted her a name change earlier this week, affirming the name Alesha as her legal name. There's now no one who sees her birth name on official documents, and that marks the end of a lot of confusion and correction in her day-to-day life, which is a bit of a weight off her shoulders. Her birth name is now officially retired from use by anyone who isn't related to her. A candle of concern for Bailey and her family, especially her sister, as they are navigating complicated family dynamics related to the health and well-being of one of their loved ones. A card of concern from Dion, my fence is falling. 2 out of the 5 support posts have been dug up, causing it to fall more. She needs some help, so if you want to help Dion out, please find her and coordinate with her during the service, after the service. And a card of joy from Vonda. My candle of joy this week was the excellent Wednesday night supper. So beautifully prepared, and I could taste the love put into it, which made my day. We invite you now to come to this table to light a candle for your joys or sorrows, or raise your hand and I will light a candle for you. During this time, you may also leave money in the basket for the kids' collection for hunger. Please note that our meditative hymn, which we always sing after our candle lighting, has been changed today to number 1031, Filled with Love and Kindness. And our community is so much larger than just those of us who are in the building this morning, so we light a candle to hold space for those who are not physically present with us, but are ever in our hearts. final candle for all that remains unspoken in our hearts and minds.
to drums that pulse out echoes of darkness, moving to the pagan sound. Somewhere in a hidden memory, images float before my eyes, of fragrant nights of straw and of bonfires dancing till the next sunrise. I can see the lights in the distance, trembling in the dark cloak of night. Candles and lanterns and dancing, dancing a waltz along All Souls Night. darkness, moving to the pagan sound, standing on a bridge that crosses the river that goes out to the sea. The wind is full of 1,000 voices. They pass by the bridge and me. I can see the lights in the distance, trembling in the dark cloak of night. Candles and lanterns and dancing the walls on All Souls Night. And I can see the lights in the distance, trembling in the dark cloak of night. Candles and lanterns and dancing the walls on All Souls Night.
Every week before we light our candles, I say, our community is so much larger than just those of us who are in the building this morning. Today, looking at the images of our dearly departed sitting upon the altar, it rings especially true to me that our community is so much larger than just those sitting in the chairs. Sometimes we carry others with us into this space. I carry my mother's mother with me. She is always present in my hair and in my ability to raise a judging eyebrow. Some of you know what I'm talking about. My father is always with me in my sense of humor and my whistling and my drive to make the world a better place than I found it. These kinds of connections are what today is all about. The pagans who call this time of year Samhain call these people we carry within us ancestors. The Christians who call this time of year All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day call these people saints. I have a cool tool here shared by one of our saints. This is a Buddha board, and it used to belong to Lyle Egan. It now belongs to Joseph, who loaned it to me today. And so it's a tool that invites us to meditate on the impermanent nature of things. And it's going to be hard for y'all to see, so there's another version on the screen already. I can draw a web using water. And as soon as I get done drawing it, even before I get done drawing it, it's already starting to fade. Because one of the principles of Buddhism is impermanence. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that everything is temporary and that serenity comes from accepting that this is part of life too. I take comfort in knowing that as the water evaporates, it's not really gone, just transformed into the ambient humidity that surrounds us all. And that even when the image drawn with water is gone, it still exists in my memory. The comfort of choosing to accept that we are part of the natural cycles of life, knowing that this is a transformational process that we will all experience, and that memory and love are bigger than the losses of the cycle. It helps me participate in these rituals with a significant amount of joy, even as it is coupled with the grief that comes with loss. Even as we each journey with our own griefs, the deeper truths remain that we are part of an interconnected web that spans generations and outlives any of our passings. We are truly a part of something bigger than ourselves: community, history, and love. Today is an invitation to reflect on those we have lost, grieve them, and remember them. Those whose deaths have taken them from our worlds, but the essential echoes of who they are remain within us. Our table is full of names and images and mementos. They represent each of our inner circle of loss, and we will have a chance to honor each of them individually at the end of this reflection. A step back from those individual losses reveals those we have lost as a community this year, who we honor as well. Those that are still part of our community through their contributions and their wisdom and the lives that they changed forever with their love. If you're newer here, you may not know any of the people I mentioned, but they are our saints, our ancestors, and in some cases, they are our husbands, brothers, mentors, mentees, friends, and this year, tragically, even our children. So whether you know them well or this is the first time you hear their names, I invite you to remember these amazing people with me. I don't have a photo of Eloise. Her time, and I am gonna cry, and that's okay. Her time on earth lasted 2 days before we lost her. She was born to her parents, Jessica and James, who are committed friends of the church. She was born on Good Friday, and she passed away 2 days later on Easter Sunday. Butterflies have long symbolized babies that were only with us for a short period of time. There's something delicate and ephemeral about butterflies, reminding us how precious and fragile life can be. The love of a parent for a child holds so much weight, and that weight becomes heavy when months of anticipation turn to loss. Though I did not meet her while she was living, I had the honor of helping Eloise's parents say goodbye to her on Easter Sunday last spring. And I can tell you this about Eloise. She was a fighter, and she was loved so very much. Eloise is so lucky to have the parents and the grandparents that she does, who carry that love with them every day. She had a tremendous impact on the world that she spent 2 days in. Encountering her and the power of her parents' love for her and for each other transformed me. The butterfly is also a symbol of transformation, and that's Eloise. Even as she experienced so many transformations while she was here, she transformed those of us who were lucky enough to know her. Eloise, you are a part of our web of connections now and always. This is Richard Boyd. Richard has been a dynamic leader in our congregation for many years. Richard really liked people. He was curious about what made them tick. He went out of his way to make sure people were welcome. He was conscientious and very well organized. He was the mastermind of the grocery card fundraising that we did for many years here. In all of his work at the church, he was always recruiting others and bringing them in. Whether it was making sure someone sitting alone at church had someone to talk to if they wished, or if it was finding promising new members of the church and recruiting them for the work he was already engaged in. He was quite a bit of a skeptic, as many of us are here, but what made Richard really unique in his skepticism and also made him a really excellent Unitarian Universalist is that respecting other people's beliefs, even when he didn't understand them, was Richard's highest priority. Richard, you are a part of our web of connections, now and always. This is Mary Jane Irwin. Unless you've been a member here for a long time, you may not recall Mary Jane. She was active here in the 1990s, serving on the board as treasurer at least once, maybe twice, while she worked at Eastman as a research librarian. She moved away from the area for a time, which is when she lost touch with the church. We know that she did return to Bristol eventually, where she passed away this year. Even though life circumstances moved her away from us, she cared enough about what we were doing as a community to arrange for a donation to come to us after she passed away. And while the money can benefit the ministries of the church, what really gets me is how her choice to remember us like this shows that what we are doing here still meant something to her. Interconnectedness works in a lot of different ways. Mary Jane Irwin, you are a part of our web of connections, now and always. This is Sharmi Mehta. Sharmi was a member of the church from 1976 to 2017, which is when she and her husband Raj moved up north. She was a member of this church before I was even born. Think about that. I know it's true for some others of you who are here, but it's still, it really says something. She's a true ancestor of the congregation. Sharmi was described by those who know her best as trusted, loyal, and a planner. She served on some of the most important and challenging committees of the church while she was here, as well as teaching Indian cooking and laughter yoga. She taught outside of this community too, putting her PhD in economics to use teaching at ETSU. In addition to being an important leader here at Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist, she was also a co-founder of the Appalachian Dharma and Meditation Center, which used to meet here and now have their own space in Johnson City. Sharmi was a teacher and a helper, and each of us who teach and help carry her legacy forward. Sharmi, you are a part of our web of connections, now and always. This is Lyle Egan. On the left is a picture of an extremely young Lyle shaking the hand of President Gerald Ford as a congressional page. On the right is Lyle as most of us knew him. I knew Lyle as curious, intelligent, and kind. Last week at his memorial gathering, I learned from listening to many of you that one Memorial Day service many years ago, Lyle bravely shared with the congregation his experiences of being a medic in Vietnam. Many shared that they had no idea exactly how bad things had been until Lyle dared to be vulnerable and share his experiences. Lyle was an open-minded mystic and told me some great stories about his encounters with the great mysteries of life. He was a conscientious objector who served our country with integrity as a medic when he could not serve as a soldier, and received scorn from both sides for his principled choice. That sort of integrity preaches to me as I am always striving to figure out how to best live my values. Lyle, you are a part of our web of connections, now and always. These are the people that I know of that were members or friends of this church who passed away since this time last year. Collectively, we grieve more than just these 5. We are interconnected with the rest of the world in significant ways. In this world community, there are important people who have impacted all of our lives to some degree or another who have also died this year. We cannot name all of them, but here are a few people whose courage and clarity impacted our lives. This is Lieutenant Colonel Harry Stewart, Jr., a picture from many, many years ago, probably before he was a lieutenant colonel. Stewart, who died at the age of 100 this year, served as one of the Tuskegee Airmen. Believe it or not, he learned to fly before he learned to drive. Can you imagine? The Tuskegee Airmen are famous for being the first African-American pilots to serve in the U.S. military during World War II. So much of American life was segregated back then, so military service was only possible back then in segregated groups like these. As a distinguished and well-awarded career as a military pilot, Harry Stewart returned to civilian life, hoping to get employment flying a commercial aircraft. But 2 separate airlines rejected him due to his race. So he ended up working as a baggage man at a train depot. Harry Stewart's legacy for all of us is significant. It's a reminder that segregation and overt oppression based on someone's skin color is not an ancient history sort of thing. For his courage, Harry Stewart is part of our web of connections, now and always. Y'all know who this is? This is Jimmy Carter. I love that in Jimmy Carter's last decades, he got to be known as a humanitarian rather than as a politician. He was never shy about wearing his faith on his sleeve, and Carter is what I would call a real Christian. He dedicated his post-presidential life to working with Habitat for Humanity to the point where his name has almost become synonymous with the organization. Working to put people into homes for Jimmy Carter was just another way that he expressed his deeply held convictions, not with his words, but with his deeds. When he had to use words to back up his deeds, he said stuff like, "To me, faith is not just a noun, but a verb." He verbed that faith by being an outspoken advocate for human rights, advancing awareness of women's issues, saying that he was pretty sure Jesus would be okay with gay marriage, and of course, building homes. For his compassion and clarity, Jimmy Carter is part of our web of connections, now and always. This is Jane Goodall, a personal hero of mine. Goodall changed how we perceived chimpanzees through her exhaustive, immersive research and her unique methods that built relationships with the animals rather than treating them like numbers on a spreadsheet, changed how this sort of research was done. She moved us collectively toward a greater sense of empathy for some of our closest evolutionary cousins, and as a result, invited the generations following her into a deeper appreciation of the interconnected web of which we are all a part. University of St. Andrews primatologist Catherine Hobader, who studies communications in chimpanzees, said that when she first heard Goodall speak, it transformed her view of science, saying, "It was the first time as a young scientist working with wild apes and wild chimpanzees that I got to hear that it was okay to feel something." That's what she said. In her later years, Goodall devoted her energy and intellect to education and advocacy on humanitarian causes and protecting the natural world. She was known for balancing the grim realities of climate crisis with a sincere message of hope for the future. For her deep wisdom and unwavering hopefulness, Jane Goodall is part of our web of connections, now and always. And this handsome young man is Robert Redford. More than just a pretty face and an illustrious film career, Redford impacted his industry and the world in significant ways. He experienced a lot of success as an actor and director, but wanted to pave the way for other creative souls as well. He created the Sundance Film Festival, a showcase of independent film projects. He said, "I saw other stories out there that weren't having a chance to be told, and I thought, well, maybe I can commit my energies to giving those people a chance." This generous spirit also motivated his activism. He supported environmentalism, Native American rights, LGBTQ rights, and of course, the arts. I remember him best for his role in All the President's Men, where Redford also had a role in funding and producing the film, reflecting the intersection of his art and his values. For his desire to use his privilege and power for truth and advocacy, Robert Redford is part of our web of connections, now and always. Before we move to our ritual of remembering, we encounter the grief of an Austrian poet whose longing for their departed loved one is communicated in song. Sung in German, we wanted to give you a chance to see what it says, so we have provided the lyrics to the song printed in your bulletin. Stay. Many of the religious traditions connected to this time of grieving remind us that it is our duty as the living to remember, to keep the spirits of our loved ones alive in our minds and our hearts. This table holds memories, grief, tears, and maybe, in moments of grace, our laughter too. The world we live in isn't always accommodating of the need to cry and grieve, and yet crying is such an important part of being human. Tears can say a lot of things, but in this context, they're an expression of grief, love and loss intertwined in our lives. Tears can be a release of pressure. Sometimes we even feel better after we've shed a couple of tears. When we release emotions in this way, our body even thanks us by giving us extra oxytocin and endorphins. Today, I have named a few people who we mourn together as a local church community and as a broader world community, but there are many more people that we have lost individually and personally this year. So many of us have lost parents, grandparents, siblings, close friends, family, all part of our interconnected web. We may not be able to offer a eulogy for each person today, but we can say their names. And in speaking their names, we remember them, how they have impacted our lives, and share our love for them with each other as a community. In a few moments, you will be invited to return to this table of light and memories, to say the names of the friends and family you have lost out loud, and put a pinch of salt into the bowl of water for them. If you're not ready to say their name out loud yet and just wish to remember them silently with this ritual of salt and water, that is okay. And if you don't want to come up to the table at all, that is very okay too. Salt and water, of course, are reminiscent of the tears that we cry in our grief. These tears can often be a cleansing release, and in that spirit, we hope you can experience the healing that you need with this symbolic act. And of course, once the salt dissolves in the water, we can't see it anymore. It's still there with us in some ways and gone in others, just like we carry our loved ones in our hearts even as we don't see them physically present in our lives anymore, just like the drawings on the Buddha board. When you're ready, come to this table, this community of remembrance and love. This part of the service will not be posted to YouTube, so please come without self-consciousness and join us in remembering. And I should start by saying, Richard, Mary Jane, Charmy, Eloise, and Lyle. Take a moment to think about all the lives and all the love represented on this table here. Take a moment to contemplate how none of us are truly alone, but companioned by our histories, our ancestors, and so much love that has come before us. As we bless our dear departed, allow yourself to let go of any grief that you are ready to release while retaining your memories and your love. We bless you on your journey. We honor and celebrate the life that has been yours, the lives you've touched, and the legacy you leave. We cherish the moments that our minds and hearts remind us of your presence, love, and connection. We release old wounds and regrets. We forgive and are forgiven. We cherish the life we shared, the life that is larger than any of us. Out of mystery we are born, and mystery receives us when we die. With sorrow and gratitude for all that has been, we bless you on your journey. Farewell, or until we meet again.
For those who came before us, we offer gratitude and thanks. May their memories be a blessing. May we feel surrounded by their love. As we go forth from this time and place, let us be inspired by their courage, their wisdom, and their dreams. Let us honor them by doing the work of living boldly, loving mightily, and creating heaven on earth. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love if you'd stay for coffee hour. We have a few announcements. We're going to start with an announcement from Greg about our rapidly approaching auction fundraiser.
Very rapidly. Next Saturday. So for the auction that's coming up, I have written a news article, and it's about what's happening at the auction. So please look at that. One of the announcements I do want to make is that we do have the opportunity of proxy bidders. That means if you can't make the auction, you can say, I need a proxy bidder. And you'll talk to that person, you'll tell them what limits you want to give on bidding on certain items. If you want to spend someone else's money, tell me that you want to be a proxy bidder. I already have people needing proxy bidders, so if you'd like to spend someone else's money, let me know, all right? So the auction will start at 6. We will have the silent auction starting almost immediately. And then we'll start the live auction. And we'll go halfway through that. We'll finish up with the silent auction. A lot of the silent auction items will be here for you to pick up and take home. So if you're planning on buying a large item, please prepare to take it home. The auction site is online, and you can go look at all the items that are there from the auction site. Go to our news article in church's website, and there's the link that will take you to the website. So go to the news article about the auction. For some reason, some of the other links are not working, but if you go to the news article about the auction, that'll take you there. There are two selections. There is the live auction, and then there is the silent auction. And so they are separated on the website too. You'll see a little menu on the upper left-hand corner. Click on it, and then you'll see live and auction. And there's some other buttons there too if you're interested. So thank you very much. Be excited about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got lots and lots of really neat stuff. So we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Greg,
Yes.
when was the deadline to donate? Is it passed?
That's passed. Yesterday. That was yesterday. I have a few more items to put in, but if you got something really good, if you do it right now, or tell me now you've got something, I'll put it in. But it has to be, it's going to be closed today, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. I've been told there's another reason to attend the auction: food. HVUC has a tradition of attendees bringing finger food, hors d'oeuvres, snacks. Snacking while you look at the silent auction items, while visiting with friends, and while bidding during the live auction goes better with food. If you want to bring a finger food of some sort, somebody will be in the kitchen beginning at 5 p.m. and they can help you with that. As winter approaches, so does Festivals of Light on December 14th. This is our annual intergenerational service that recognizes different holidays around light that are celebrated by people in our congregation and people who have come before us. We're looking for speakers, candle lighters, and singers. This is a wonderful chance to get involved, and there are opportunities for all ages and interests. You can email Sarah at festivals@hvuc.org to volunteer. Today, in just a few minutes when we get done here, we'll be having a choir rehearsal, and the choir will be preparing 2 pieces for the Festivals of Light. If you've been interested in trying choir for the first time, today is a great day to give it a shot. James will help you out. 12:30. And don't forget, next Sunday is second Sunday of the month, which means it's time for potluck. Bring something to share and plan to eat well next week. It's also the time of year for collecting giving tree items. Our tree will be in need of items for children, women, and men, such as gloves, hats, scarves, socks, and hand warmers. We will collect items all through the holiday season to keep our tree replenished. The donation box will be out starting next week. Additionally, monetary donations are welcomed, and we will do the shopping for you. We will need volunteers after service on November 16th to help package those items, which we'll hang from the tree. You can stay tuned for announcements in the future to volunteer for decorating the tree on one day of the end of November. If you have any questions about any of that, please feel free to reach out to givingtree@hvuc.org. And a friendly reminder from your office staff, please do not email the church directory or members only section password to anyone who reaches out to you via email. Even if it's a name you recognize, there are a lot of very good scams happening lately. If you think it's a scam, ignore it. If it's a real person needing help, they need to reach out to the office at office@hvuc.org. Our closing hymn is number 1007 in your teal hymnal, and on the screens, there's a river flowing in my soul. This is also when we'll collect our offering.
Generosity this week and every week. May your gifts nurture our shared ministry and the world we have been called to love. Here's our benediction. May justice lead us to the calling of this moment. May wonder meet us right where we're at. May we discover our collaborators and our companions, and may love guide us on this journey of transformation. Blessed be, amen, and go in peace.
Yay!